Hello everyone, and welcome back to Victoria 3 and our Imperial Austria campaign. The year is 1864, and we're just starting to be able to electrify the economy. Not the fastest electrification you'll ever see. We of course did start a couple of technologies behind in some pretty important areas, and we've been prioritizing military technology more than we otherwise could have, just to try to get a leg up on some of our rivals. Of course, right now, pushing for electric telegraph, and after this we should be going for an early trench works. It's going to be a big investment. 7 years to research is going to be quite a while, but in the meantime, passive research sharing will push us up through some of these economy techs that we're a little bit behind on, and so long as we can get electrification on the way, I feel like that'll be a good thing on its own. And we really do need to get our military to be just that bit better per pound. Our current power projection is 2743, but the French, our main rival and potential enemy for expanding more into Germany, has 2585. Now, that means they're basically the same tech level, because if we look, they have 266 battalions to our 281. It's about the same percentage difference as our power projection, so if we're over in production methods, it probably means we have the same infantry, of course skirmish infantry, and the same artillery, that being shrapnel. It would be nice if we could get some additional squads here, and for those of you who have wondered why I haven't gone to first aid, well, the reason is we need to import 281 units of opium, and that's not something that really exists on the market right now, so we can try to look for it. I'm not sure how to find it if we're not using it already. Let's go trade routes, new import routes, and yes, there. So if you look at opium on the available market, there's 40 units of opium available, and there's a whole lot that's unavailable. Basically, we wouldn't be able to fill our needs, and that would be 1, expensive, and 2, would decrease the fighting capability of our armies. However, in terms of other resources, we've gotten a ton of rubber rushes recently, and that's 3 in a row right there, so what we can do is we can start building up our rubber plantations. Couple available options, not that many, I guess, per, right? So the best is Austrian Congo, but we've already built up 7 in Windward Coast and Austrian Togo. So the early investment into some colonies has been paying off quite well, and we're currently racing the French down in Africa. We are beating them a little bit per expansion, so that should be pretty nice. And we are the only ones to make productive settlements in Papua New Guinea. There is a settlement also by the Dutch, I believe, and if we go, yes, diplomatic, they are getting 0 progress, probably because their institution got dropped to 0 after they made the colony start. So, in terms of other matters, we do have a revolution that is going away, as we have not yet been able to get rid of our discriminatory laws, but we're trying. And getting wealth voting should be one way to get to that. However, we do have really, really low legitimacy, and the reason is our aristocracy was so pissed when we were trying to get rid of persecuting everybody that, well, they left the government, and because we are the aristocracy and we don't have any sort of presidential or elective system, that means we're going to be in trouble. So I have been thinking about this as well. The Ottomans have a power projection for their army of 274. It's not too unreasonable to think that we might be able to pick up some more coastline, and I do also want to go into Italy. Papal States, only 5 battalions, that could be a very nice thing, but if we go into their diplomacy, and we take a look at the attitudes toward them, right now, they love us, but, well, I guess we love them, but so do the British. And the British, being protective, would be relatively likely to join in against us if we went after the Papal States. In addition, that's going to be a lot of infamy. And because of our leader being a bandit, we don't exactly lose infamy that quickly. So if we take a look at the... if we take a look at countries by infamy, we are up at 38.7, which is still infamous. I've been trying to drop that down in order to secure our alliance, hopeful alliance, with Russia, which we should have had earlier, but we have a trade agreement with them. Our infamy level is going to prevent us from being able to get this with an obligation, but I don't know, it doesn't look like it's that likely anyway, and I kind of wish I hadn't given them that trade agreement so that we could have still kept getting about 10,000 more a month from tariffs. So if we look at our production queue, this is what I meant by electrifying the economy. We have some power plants that are on the way, but it's always something to keep in mind when you're building up a whole lot of factories like we are with the coal and with these tooling workshops. Just keep an eye, make sure everything has full market access. Losing that can really deflate your economy in really weird ways. You'll end up showing goods shortages, but you have the factories built, they just can't get their goods out. And so if you build more factories, you'll double down on that, you'll lose more market access, and basically make the whole problem worse. In terms of radicals and loyalists, we have 13.5 million radicals out of a population of 48.6 million, so about 1 in 4 is pretty unhappy with us, and we were just last episode able to get our loyalists up a bit higher. Part of that's coming from quality of life improvements, and that's in large part due to building a whole bunch of plantations. So we can see, I mean, we don't think of plantations today as exactly being great places to live, but they do raise people out of subsistence farming, and we can see there's still a whole bunch of subsistence farms left in a lot of these places. Not a ton, really, and we could bring more people out of subsistence. And, ooh, wow, a lot in Lombardy. We did pass wealth voting. That means we actually have -10 on authority, so we're going to have to pause here for just a moment while we take a look at our decrees. So promote national values, we can get rid of that in Austria, that's fine. And, yeah, so we also now have political parties, which is going to be a bit interesting. So political parties mean that you can't move things around independently. You need everything to sort of match. If we go in to reform our government, we can't confirm this. We need the trade unions to be over with Regressive Club. That does boost our legitimacy, though. That's pretty nice. And we would have to move in the entire Christian Social Party, or the things. And yeah, we still can't confirm because the rural folk also have to be over here. But that would give us some really excellent legitimacy. It's one of the benefits of having wealth voting. And note, the aristocracy is still out of government. Pretty nice for us, and their clout is down so far. Now if we take a look at national supremacy, still a 20% chance to pass something other than that. We'd still radicalize the aristocracy, but we'd have a good enough legitimacy. Now we can do this quickly. So this probably should have been the order that we did it before. A bit of a mistake there on my part. I'm just making sure there aren't any other things with a good enactment chance that we want first. Appointed bureaucrats is nice. Professional army is good for right now. Public schools is good. Closed borders I would like to get rid of at some point. And it would be nice to get rid of child labor, but it doesn't look like we're going to be doing that for a little while. Right of assembly. This could be very nice. We'd lose some more authority, I don't care. We'd get more technology spread. Let's go ahead and do that. Who would this piss off? The usual suspects, that's fine. So let's go ahead and get right of assembly, and that'll increase our passive tech gain and make it a little bit less painful to be researching ahead of time for our army. In terms of revolution, this was going away, then the aristocracy just can't keep themselves from wanting to kill us all, I guess, because they're going after it again, and it won't get all the way up. Even if it did, I mean, look at that, that's a single state. I kind of wish that would fire, actually, look at that. We'd have to take the state of Istria from the aristocracy. Oh, how far their influence has fallen. Alright, so that's fine, that's fine. Our GDP is going up quite a lot. We're still a little bit behind France. They're at 207 million, but our 190 or so million here will be very quickly catching their coattails as soon as we have electrified the economy. If we look at our details here inside of our marketplace, glass is very expensive, wood's very expensive, clippers, oddly enough. Still would be nice to get more silk plantations too, but you see, we're going to have some other needs right now. Power plants demand engines, engines demand steel, coal, and tools, and our coal is already a bit more expensive than I would like it to be, even with these additional coal mines getting built. So let's build a couple more coal mines. It's unfortunate how many we need, but we have the space for it in Moravia. That should be quite alright. And low market access in West Galicia. That's going to prompt an immediate top of the priority railway expansion. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about the negative 15,000 a week here at the moment. We have 8.37 million in reserves, and our taxation's only down at the middling level. I do want that to be more in the green, but we're going to have some expensive times while we get electricity going. It's a bit of a weird switch. If we go over into buildings and into urban, there's a whole bunch of things we could switch over right now, and the one that I want to do the most is switching to electric streetlights. This would give us 2.94 thousand more services, which would make them cheap, but the market will respond to this. More people will be buying them, and that price will rebound over time to give us a wonderful consumption tax on that. We could switch to independent artists, but I like encouraging, well, yeah, more capitalist is always a good thing. It looks like the Mexicans have lost a war to the USA. Yeah, that's actually, wait, whoa. Mexicans won the war? Dang, alright. More power to them, I guess. They got a treaty port. Yeah, okay, so they enforced. It's a weak USA this time around, but I guess the patriotic part of me is a little unhappy about that. But, oh, you know what? Here's what's happening. So, I think because they're public utilities, the power plants can't be subsidized. So if you take a look right now, our investment pool is going way up. 112,000 a week is not being spent on buildings because it's not allowed by our current economic laws. That's a little unfortunate. It's gonna have to happen though eventually, and look at what this is doing to our GDP. That's great. That's really awesome. I mean, we're almost passing Qing, and they have 386 million people. So yeah, no complaints there at all. And our population growth is going gangbusters, 1.05% a year. And compared to France, I mean, yeah, that's a lot better. We have a larger population than them at the moment. Didn't start off that way. Part of that is from taking northern Germany. Of course, Brandenburg is a relatively populous state at 1.7 million. And we should have this still going up, but I mean, we still can't expand into Prussia. The radical Prussian revolt is still ongoing, and that's a bit of a problem. That really is not great. You know, I'm kind of tempted to give the aristocracy their promotion. No, you know what? It wouldn't make a difference for them, but it might for the armed forces. So, yep, that actually switched them away from supporting a revolution. Pretty nice. Weakens that revolution progress there, and yeah, this is a bit more significant. We'd still be fine. Probably should build a couple more barracks, though, to be honest. No, that's alright. I'm not entirely sure what I clicked through there either, so let's just make sure there isn't anything in the production section that I should have done and haven't. That's electric fences. No. That looks fine. Logging camps, that's going to be electric saws. We can't do that either. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, alright. Good enough, no problems there. And once we get these power plants up and running, we can start electrifying the economy. We'll have to build more. I can guarantee you right now this will not be enough power plants to power our entire economy. Radical expansion. Progressive Club is which party? That's the Industrialist, Intelligentsia, Rural, and Trade Unions. Yeah, actually I don't mind that, except for the radicalism. Yeah, fair enough. I guess it's the least bad option at the moment. And once we get this done, I think we could go after Mecklenburg-Strelitz. It'd be nice to become not infamous before we do that, which will take a little while. But really not too long. I mean, we're going to lose about 4 a year, 3.75 a year. So, well, I guess that's 4 years. That's quite a while. Be nice if we could complete the state before then. I really want to attack into Prussia, but again, we can't. And Saxony, let's take a look at their diplomacy. Yeah, Saxony is virtually guaranteed to bring in France, as is Bavaria, because Bavaria has an outright... Oh, geez, their protectorate? You're kidding me. Maybe this is why I should do diplomacy stuff, but I don't. I prefer to win by force of arms. Not exactly the smartest idea all the time, but it is more fun, and Bavaria's protectorateship won't save them for very long. We will eventually be able to absolutely crush the French armies. So our election results are in, and the Progressive Club has won a resounding victory. This means our legitimacy stays high. It also means that right of assembly is going to be going really quickly around that clock, and that makes me very happy. It also does chip away at the support for the other political parties. So if you go in now and look at the clout of the aristocracy, 9.7%, it's dropped like a rock since we got the other voting method in. Should have done it before, but hey, I've learned now. I'll be able to know that for the next time around. Right of assembly as well, being passed right off the bat, pretty nice. And now, maybe we can finally go into our laws, and 20%, you know what? If this is going to piss people off anyway. Okay, that's -20, -20, -20. Okay, petit bourgeois would switch from rebelling or not rebelling. Let's go full multiculturalism. Screw it. Pretty high chances of it working. 20% for success is not great. but 41.6 advance, 37.5 debate, which means, oh geez, is this gonna fire? No, maybe not. Okay, emergency barracks time. let's get these going sooner rather than later. 10 more barracks in Austria and 5 more in Bohemia, just to make sure that we can win this war. And we've lost the support of the petit bourgeois, so we're unfortunately going to be taking a tax penalty there. You know what? Let's drop down to level 2 colonial growth again. Not ideal, but we need barracks instead of anything else at the moment. Luckily, all of our power plants are being built outside of the regions that would be affected by the revolution, so that at least is worth something, and really not too bad of an economy situation anyway. So as soon as our power plants are built, that should be fine. Looking at the market, yeah, glass, we need glass. Can I just import some of this for right now? It's going to make our bureaucracy problem worse, but really not a ton. Tuscan market, probably not worth it. Let's just stay without for right now. We will need more guns, and let's go over into production methods. We could do... I don't know if that's worth it, honestly. Yeah, no, probably not. It would free up laborers, but we don't need laborers right now. We need other things. Electric sawmills also not exactly critical. So let's go over to urban, and let's get our electric streetlights. Very nice. And that's already going to show us where we stand. Yeah, no, that's not a lot of electricity. Some of these are because plants don't have full employment. There was no demand for electricity, therefore the wages were not very good. And this should start taking off. If we go in and look at our buildings, they're now hiring, because they're now able to. They have enough demand that they can have that surplus money to hire more workers. And we should, yeah, I mean, we were at 1/10 possible employment. And right away you can see this is good. This is okay. This is fine. Input goods shortages of electricity. Well, yeah, no shit. And we should probably build a couple more, but I want some glassworks as well. And just out of sheer necessity, I don't want to build that anywhere that's going to rebel. So let's get 15 glassware plants in Lombardy. Do I need to build some lead for that? Maybe not. Oof, we've gone a little bit over. I do apologize. I got a little carried away, but, well, a bit of a long one every once in a while is not too bad. That's all I've got for you guys today, though, so stick around. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow.